Ric Flair on Hogan said. So we've got a bit more Hogan stuff, then we are going to move on. So, Ric Flair gave a teary interview to TMZ the day after Hogan's passing, and yesterday, as we record this, I wrote this for Stevie's and just copied and pasted it. So it was a few days ago. Then he was also on Ariel Helwani's show discussing the amount of surgeries Hogan had been dealing with and the pain he was in. Here's the quote from Rick. I think he, Hulk Hogan, just got tired. I mean, 11 back operations, hip replacements, now a neck surgery. How much can your body take? We've all put ourselves in ridiculous positions in the business, but here I am. I'm 5 years older than Hulk, and I don't hurt at all. I've had some serious health issues, but I don't have an ache or pain in my body, and it bothers me, and of course it gives me anxiety that I could be next. We could keep with that.
Ric Flair said this?
Yes.
He doesn't have an ache or pain in his body?
That is what he's claiming, yeah.
Well, okay.
So, I mean, so he's now getting anxiety that obviously, you know, someone like Hogan's going. I don't think it's going to stop him, you know, any of his choices in life, though, to make sure he lives a bit longer.
Ric Flair's Ric Flair. He's going to do what Ric Flair does. And, you know, one time I had a theory about him. I think he wanted, when he had his last match, that was so horrible because he said he died in the match. I mean, hey, when a wrestler tells you anything, just say, just mark it down. I just got a little bit of untruth in it. I think most of the things that wrestlers say, especially when they're drinking. But he said, did he say he died once or twice?
I think he claimed twice his heart stopped or his pacemaker kicked in or something.
Once wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to die once. No, I got to die twice. So it's really going to take somebody, some really doing to die 3 times and beat me. And Flair's another one you can't really put a lot of stock into what he says because he is liable to say anything. So, but didn't he start crying during this interview?
Yeah, it was about 10 minutes long, and well, I mean, he cries about a lot of things, but I think it's definitely something to cry over.
Oh, he does.
I mean, you know, it's a pretty big deal, so I don't begrudge him that, of course. He also is now cancer-free. He said that
that's good.
He had some skin issues, too much tanning or whatever else it was, and then he ignored, I don't know if it was a mole that turned black and then expanded, not... He left it 8 years. He said he first started noticing something going wrong with his skin about 8 years ago and never did anything about it. To the point that I guess they turned into melanoma and he had to have them, surgically excised out. But at least, like, one on his arm, I think, at least a couple on his head, his forehead. But now at least he's cancer-free.
That's good. But Rick and I don't agree on a lot of things, and we had a little brief run-in, but I'm glad he's like that because I don't wish harm on anybody, even if I hate them, which I don't hate anybody.
What do you think about Ric Flair? Once again, just saying what he said, saying that he had no aches or pains in his body, and then there's someone like Hulk Hogan who has dozens of surgeries. And I mean,
I think
you have aches and pains from your career, surely?
Well, hell yeah, I do. I mean, he was taking that slam almost, the slam off the top rope. He took it all the time on his side. He didn't take it on his back and let it spread out. He took it on his one side or the other. But that's after, and I don't know how many times he's taken that.
I did it. It was after the plane crash in 1975 and he broke his back. But he said I guess he just found it more comfortable to land on his side.
Okay. Well, it may have been. I'd actually forgotten about that. I guess it would be hard to forget you're in a plane crash, right? But I wasn't in it. He was in it. He hasn't forgotten it. So
isn't that the joke that everyone liked to fly with Ric Flair because what were the odds that he was going to be in 2 plane crashes?
Oh, yeah. But who was flying that plane?
It wasn't Flair. I
You
don't know.
remember?
It's just a pilot. It wasn't a wrestler.
They had also a plane crash like that in Florida one time.
Yep,
Killed Bobby Shane,
it did.
and Buddy Coat was on it. So, but anyway, but that was like the four-seater Cessna with the propellers, and so, and they found out the one in Florida, their their what you call it, altimeter, that tells them what level they're at.
Yeah.
He thought he was at 2,000 feet, and he was at like 200 feet, and it was cloudy, and they were flying at night. So, what could go wrong there? And it actually ended up flying it right into the ground, and didn't even know it. And it's a lucky only one of them got killed. You know, when you hit trees doing 150 miles an hour, that's a pretty good little bump. So, and that was the one, like I said, Buddy Coat got hurt in, and Bobby Shane got killed in. Back to the subject here.
Well, I just wanted to add
Hey,
one more thing.
don't let me go off on a tangent here, because I'll be over there in Texas somewhere, and we're talking about something here.
Well, it's a long drive. It's a long drive. I mean, we've got to spread it out.
It is a long drive. I've made it so.
Surgeries. How many surgeries? I never asked you this. How many surgeries related to wrestling injuries have you had in your life?
Surgeries?
Yeah.
Oh, I never had a surgery. I've had, my knee replaced. It's still messed up.
You can claim that as a surgery.
Well, yeah, I had that surgery.
So you've only had one surgery related to wrestling then? Because I know you broke your leg, but you were stretching. You weren't even wrestling for that. So you've only had one surgery related to wrestling.
Yeah, that's what they said. I broke my leg, and I'm thinking, the hell? And that was during the pandemic, or the leading into the pandemic. I've told you this. And I was going to have some follow-up surgery, and then they canceled it because of the pandemic. And then that went by, and then they started doing elective surgeries again. So I rescheduled it. Then the second pandemic came, and then I had to cancel that. So by the time it came around, then the doctor said, and this is when I was way heavy. I was about 40 pounds heavier than my fat ass looks now. But the doctor says, we will have to, I'm not really sure about you having surgery. And I thought to myself, well, if you're not sure about it, I don't think I'm sure about it. So, and I'm still in need of surgery, but at this stage, I don't know. It's a major decision.